Hey, this is Matt from Commercial Deal Junkie, and we're going to be talking about retail and how retail has changed drastically in the last 10, 15 years. Now, I haven't been in the industry that long, but I've been studying how the retail market has changed. And the people that are making a lot of money in retail are actually doing a specific type of retail. And there are other people that are buying other types of retail that are getting killed out there. So we're going to be talking about where the retail real estate market has trended to and why I'm personally so bullish about retail. Number one question I get asked when I tell people the kind of investing I'm doing is, why are you so bullish on retail? And this is kind of the reason why here. So there are types of there's type of retail properties that really excelled in the last 5 years, and I believe will continue. And then there's other types that have drowned, and I think will continue drowning. So for example, the type of retail that we're all most familiar with that is drowning is malls. I actually pulled up a mall here. Like, these are the type of properties. This is a regional mall for a small town in California. I live in California. I don't even know where Hanford is. And it has high vacancy. They have a bunch of tenants that are going through some sort. I mean, JCPenney's, I believe, filed Chapter 7 or something. They did had a Sears anchor that already left. And like, this is just this massive property. Unless you're going to go in and do a massive redevelopment, which you can. But as far as buying this up, leasing it out and selling it for more, or making money on this, or just cash flowing off this, it's not going to happen unless you're ready to put some big bucks in and really redevelop this property. So if you bought this mall 5, 7 years ago, I tried to find out how much this guy paid for this mall, but right now it's on the market for, what was it, 29.9, 30 million. I'm really curious what this guy paid for it when he had all these anchor tenants, but I guarantee you it was more than that 29.9. So these are the people that are getting hurt in over the last few years, and I think this is going to continue in the future. Just online shopping has exploded, and the rents in these types of buildings were so high for places like JCPenney and Sears that it just didn't justify it. Enough of their customers had left where the price wasn't justifying it anymore. So these people got hurt. This property owner, I'm sure, got burned. Another one. I mean, this is different. This single tenant net lease buildings that all rely on one tenant, and that tenant is paying an exorbitant amount of rent for this building. This guy trying to release it at 21 bucks a square foot. It's a CVS that left. So it was the only tenant of the building, already paying way above market rent for that area, and they left. Now this one, luckily, is it's in a good city. It's not in a small tertiary market, but still, I mean, if we look at the history of this thing, where was it? Changes. So in 2018, did it sell? Sale change date active. Where is it? Public record. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. It's right here. So this guy bought this thing in 2019 for 4.7 million. Sorry, 3.7 million, and now he's putting it back on the market for 3.7 million, and he's not going to get 3.7 million. That's why this thing's been on the market for, drum roll please, 201 days. This thing's been on the market. So these are the people that are getting hurt. People that are really getting hurt are the large regional malls. More and more people are shopping online and spending time. The mall used to be like the central gathering place when I was a teenager. And I'm not old, but when I was a teenager, we used to go there all the time. But now you walk through malls and they're a dying asset class. Some of them are being redeveloped. Some of them are really upgrading them and turning them into like real community areas. So some are going to level up. A lot are going to die. Some are going to level up. Some are going to get repositioned. These single tenant net lease buildings, in my opinion, I have a whole video on this, on why I think single tenant net lease buildings is one of the riskier types of retail. Even though most people tell me, I mean, they're considered a really safe investment, and they trade at really low cap rates. So when this guy bought it in 2019, he bought it at a 5.3 cap rate. Now there is ways you can play this, because I dove into this one a little bit, and the tenant is still paying rent. So you can try to find a new tenant. I think they're still paying rent for like another 10-ish years or something. So what you could do is you could try to find a tenant in those 10 years, and then tell CVS, when I find a tenant, I'll take you out of your lease early, and then find a tenant in here, and maybe not lose money. But I guarantee you, their rent is so high, you'd have to find a tenant that's willing to come in at 16 bucks a square foot is what they're asking gross to even get close to this valuation, even at that. So the point is, I think these are the types of assets that have really put a shadow on the retail asset class. But the retail asset class that is booming is local neighborhood retail strip centers. Now, let me show you. Like, if we can literally look at the vacancy rates. Vacancy rates for malls is 8.7%, which is huge compared to the strip center at 4.6. So we have significantly less vacancy, and the rents are exploding in these large buildings. The rent for a building like this isn't going to explode. Larger buildings get a discount on a price per square foot. You buy it on a 5 cap when CVS is already paying a lot of rent. You paid a lot for the real estate. You're paying $327 a square foot for the real estate. You might be able to build for that. So you might be able to build a brand new building for that. Yeah, you have land costs and that sort of thing, but like that is an aggressively high price per square foot because this guy paid for the lease because of the CVS was there. Now CVS is gone. He's trying to sell it for what he bought it for, but it's not going to happen. Retail strip centers, you can buy them kind of like apartments where you buy them. The rents are low, the expenses are high. You re-rent the rental units, you re-rent the suites, and you make the tenants start paying for the expenses through the triple nets, and you have a highly profitable. For example, this is another example here of like is this the mall? Yeah, this is the mall we had pulled up. So here's an example of a strip center, in Mustang, Oklahoma. I'm a big fan of Oklahoma. I had some offers on some stuff there, but never actually picked anything up. But I'm a big fan of Oklahoma. So I literally just typed in strip center for sale in Oklahoma. Swear to you, clicked on the first one, and I was trying to see like what this thing was purchased for, what it sold for, what the landlord did. So let's see what the landlord did to this one. I actually haven't looked into this, so let's look this up. Mustang, search with Google. Mustang, Oklahoma. Let's go here. And one of the things you can do, let's see which one it is. It is this one, right? It's this one. So one of the things I like about Google, is it this one? Let's confirm. That is just an intersection. Let's try 361. One second. There it is. Okay. So let's try to see what this guy did to it. Is it this one? It's not this one. It's that one over there. So in Google Maps, I'm not sure this one. I don't know why we can't find this one on Google. Anyway. Mustang in 152. It's 152. Yeah, so it's this one right here. So you could literally just see more dates and go older. That's what this thing used to look like. Now this guy, it was upgraded, and it looks like 2017-ish, 2014. I don't know why Google Maps spazzes on me like that. But let's see when this guy bought it. So it looks like by 2017 it was upgraded. So I think this guy already bought it upgraded. But if you see here, this guy bought this thing in 2019, so it was already upgraded. I'm sure he just filled up the tenants. Let's see what he did here. This is why I love CoStar. Now, there are many ways to look at property history and stuff like that, but you're just going to be scouring through the internet. CoStar isn't cheap, but it tells you everything about everything. So this guy tried to list it for 9.7. Oh, that's now 12, 13. So the bunch of spaces were active and withdrawn. It means he leased up a bunch of the spaces at 13, 14 bucks a square foot, 13, 14 bucks a square foot. So the bunch of stuff was leased up during this ownership because there's demand. The vacancy is low, so there's demand for this kind of product. And now he's selling it for 9.7. 6 years later, more than doubled the value of this asset. So these are the kinds of opportunities now that are available in retail. And this is a tertiary market. Mustang, Oklahoma is not a massive market. It's right outside of Oklahoma City. Let's look at the stats on it. I like to look at the stats at locations. It's a higher income part of Oklahoma City. So that is an example of this person doubled his money in 6 years. He was able to lease up space. Let's see how long it took him. This is why I love CoStar. I could just go, and even though like they rip me off every month, but I can see here. So he put it up in October. Where's active withdrawn? So when did this one go active? Oh, that's crazy. This is telling me 10 days. I don't know if this is true, but it was active. So it's taken 3-ish months to lease something up, which is my rule of thumb is it takes between 3 and 6 months in a healthy market for something to get leased up. 6 months, especially if you're being picky, it might take longer. But there's some good businesses here. You got medical businesses, you got optical there, you got a bowling alley, you got a pizza place. So I mean, these are some decent tenants. It's a local neighborhood strip center. All right, this next example is actually one that I bought. So this is in Florida. It's literally your classic retail strip center. This is what it looks like now. Although I filled it up, so this is before I got the tenants in there. That's why their signs is. I bought this thing vacant for 300 grand. Let's see if they have a picture of here. What they don't. This thing used to look awful. So I cleaned it up. I filled it up with tenants. There's only one vacancy now. State Road 52. This is what this thing used to look like. It used to look like this, and I turned it into this. So from this, and all of these were empty. These were vacant. This is after I redid the parking lot. The Google car came by. This parking lot was also a mess, but I redid the parking lot, cleaned up the building, painted it. The interior was a mess, electrical work. Bought this thing for 300, and I'm about to put it on the market for, or maybe refinance it. I haven't fully decided yet, but I'm assuming the appraisal will come in around 750, and I put about 150 into it. And this thing, like, it took me. I started leasing it up in, if I remember correctly, it was September 2024. We are April 2025. So that's how much? Let's say like 9-ish months to fill up 3 of the units. I'm waiting to get the 4th one filled before I refinance or I sell. But that's literally in 2 years, double the value of this asset. There was demand. So I went in, bought it, cleaned it up. It was in a good neighborhood. The traffic here, even though it is a lower income part of Florida, Tampa, Florida, 39,000 average household income, but the population density is decent. The traffic on that road is decent. So I have it listed right now for 700 because I had the broker put it up when it was empty to see if owner user, but it's worth more than that now. Also, this description doesn't have all the tenants that are in there now, so it's a little outdated. But if you look at the traffic here on Highway 52, traffic counts, which is a very important retail metric, 30,000 vehicles per day on average pass right in front of this retail strip center. So those are the types of retail properties, the local neighborhood strip centers. They have lower vacancy, the demand is still there, the rents are increasing. And then the single tenant net lease and the malls, the regional malls, those are dying asset classes. Those massive tenants leave. It's very hard to fill huge space, and you can't sell it because you paid so much when you bought it because the tenants were huge. So retail isn't dying, it's adapting. And as a retail investor, you have to adapt with it. Some people have chosen to switch asset classes, but there's clearly, I mean, there's still a lot of people in this market making money in retail. And this is over the last 5 or 6 years when retail was supposedly dying. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to go over how retail is adapting and changing over time. Do all the algorithm stuff, like, subscribe, do all that, and I will catch you on the next one.